Well, welcome to Tuesday's homework, Place Value Powers of 10. That's just a fancy way to talk about the power of 10 in our base 10 system. And today I'm hoping to help you understand that so that we can start exchanging between the different blocks. Let's review what the blocks are. We have units, which are the smallest little cube that we use. Then we have longs, flats, cubes, and these are super long ones that we're going to talk about as we move on. So let's begin. First, we're going to show the value of 1 unit cube. 1 times 1 unit cube. That's one of the small ones that looks like this. I'll draw it for you. And we know that one of them is worth 1, 1. Actually, let me show you something fancy I did, guys. You're going to like this. Woo! I dragged it. 1, 1. We don't have any tens. So what we call that is 10 to 0. The power of 10 is 0 here because we don't have any tens at all. And if you don't have any tens at all, you just have 1, 1. Now we're going to look at the value of 110. That's a long or a rod. It looks like this. We know that if we have 110, it's made up of 10 ones. So 110 is worth 10. And we say here that we have 10 to the power of 1 because I have one of them, and it's 10. I'm not multiplying it by any tens, just 110. So I have 110. Let's move on to the value of 10 tens. Now we've looked at this before. If I have 10 longs, each of them are worth 10, and I put them all together. I'm going to have to draw it like this to make room. I have 10 longs all together. It makes one flat, and I bet many of you know what that is. It's 100 because a flat has 100 little cubes in it if you were to count them all up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's like having 10 long rods. So 10 times 10 equals 100. Now on the last page, we looked at what it was to have 10 longs or 10 tens. Now I want to know what happens if I have 10 hundreds. Remember, here is 1 times just 1. I have no tens. Here is 10 times the 1. Now if I multiply it by 10 again, I add another 0. 10 times 10 is 100. Now I want to know what happens if I take 100 and I have 10 of them. So if I were to stack those flats so that there was a whole 100 of them, 10 of them, I'm about to give away the answer, guys. That's 2 mistakes, 2 days in a row. If I have 10 flats, I have 100 in each layer here, 100 plus 100 plus 100, till I get all the way down to 10 times 10, times 100 of, boy, I am really confused today, 10 times 100, or 10 flats. I have to move that over because 10 flats equals, if you recognize my picture, a big cube, which is my thousands cube. So 10 flats, or 10 times 100, equals 1,000. Now that you see this pattern, I bet you're going to be able to figure out what the next one would be. What if I had 1,000 then? One of these cubes, and I'm going to stack up 10 of them. I could make a big, huge box out of them, and I would have to then change my value to 10,000 because I would have 10 of these blocks. Imagine me piling 10 of them up. It would look something like this and this and this. Let's say I had all these blocks to pile up until I had 10 of them somehow. I would have 10,000 because this is 1,000 times 10 would make 10,000. Well, continuing in this same pattern then, first I started with 1. 1 times 10 is 10. 10 times 10 is 100. And then 100 times 10 is 1,000. You notice how they're moving over. 1,000 times 10 is 10,000. What if I have 10,000 times 10 of them? Well, you see that right here. If we take our basic facts of 10 times 10, we get 100. And now we add our 1,000, so we get 100,000. 10 times 10,000 is 100,000. Well, we're going to keep going now. Let's start again. 1 times 1 is 1, times 10 is 10. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. 1,000 times 10 is 10,000. 10,000 times 10 is 100,000. What happens if I were to take 100,000 and make 10 of them? Some of you have guessed it already. 100,000 times 10 is going to move me over to the next place value position. It equals 1 million. And then a million times 10 is 10 million. And then 10 million times 10 is 100 million. And we could keep going on and on, multiplying by 10 and adding a zero until we got into the billions and quadrillions and numbers that are much higher than we ever want to go. Now we're going to apply this to using digits other than 1, because every place value position as I move over is times 10 when I go left. If I go backwards, I'm actually dividing by 10, but everything has to do with 10. So let's start with the digit 4 in this spot instead of 1. I can still do the same pattern. If I move that 4 into the tens position, I'm going to use the one I can move here. If I move that 4 into the tens position, 4 times 10 now is 40. 40 times 10 is 400. 400 times 10 is 4,000. And I can keep going. 4,000 times 10 is 40,000. 40,000 times 10 is 400,000. 400,000 times 10 is 4 million. Can you guess the next one? 4 million times 10 is 40 million. I'm adding a zero every time. And 40 million times 10 is 400 million. And it works exactly the same going backwards. This time we're going to divide. So 400 million divided by 10, got to take one away, is 40 million. 40 million dividing into 10 groups is 4 million. 4 million divided by 10 is 400,000. 400,000 divided by 10 is 40,000. 40,000 divided by 10, 4,000. 4,000 divided by 10 is 400. 400 divided by 10 is 40. And then 40 divided by 10 goes back to 4. So every time we multiply by 10, we move over in the place value, that's times 10. And whenever we divide or go backwards, we divide by 10 and take a zero away. Let's look how we apply that to what's going to be on our next test. What you're going to see is a lot of questions like this. They might say, if I have 10 tens, it equals how many hundreds? Excuse my writing. It's squished on the page. So 10 tens equals how many hundreds? Couldn't even fit an S there. Sorry, that should have an S there. Well, when you look at that, you don't need to be confused. Think of our place value chart. And if you have it, not have it on your test, I should say, you need to write it on your test. You know you have ones, then you have tens, then you have hundreds. So think about it. They said you have 10 of these. Well, I can't put 10 in one spot. I can only use one digit at a time. So that means that one has got to move over. And I have 100. Well, 100 equals 100. So my answer here, how many tens is 10 tens. It's the same as 100. Let's look at another one. They might say 1,000 tens equals blank hundreds. Then you're like, oh no, I have so many, I don't know how to do that. Well, draw your place value chart right away. Start drawing it all the way till you get to the place they want you to go. So I have ones, then I have tens, then I have hundreds, and then I have thousands. Well, I know that I cannot put 1,000 here. That would not work at all. I need to move these over. I can leave my 0 in the 10 spot, but I got to move the other ones over, and I'm going to have to add another spot here for 10,000. So I'm going to take that 100 part that's left over. I've got the 0 here, but I have some to scoot over, and I'm going to scoot it all over here so that I end up with 1,000 tens. And then my 0 can fill in the ones, that's just fine. 1,000 tens is how many hundreds? Well, let's stop there and look at just the hundreds. How many hundreds? I'm stopping at the hundreds. 1,000 tens is the same as 100 hundreds. And if they asked me, I could even tell them it's the same as 10,000 ones. This lesson has gone on kind of long, I know, but let's do one more, and then we're going to work on it more in class. Here's the last one. Let's say they ask you a simple one. How much is 100 tens? It equals blank ones. Now that one is on the easier side, so let's do this. We're going to make our place value chart ones, tens, hundreds, excuse me for writing it like that, I'm in a hurry, thousands, and then 10,000s just in case we need them. Now let's start filling in our blank. They say we have 100 tens. I can't put them all in that spot. I can leave the 0 here, but then I got to move the rest over. So let's stop here because I have 100 tens. If I have 100 tens, then when I scoot over and look at my ones, it shows me I have 1,000 ones. We're going to work more on that in class. Don't worry about it. If you still don't understand, we're going to practice, practice, practice. For tonight, I want you to get some good rest. Don't forget your reading, your vocabulary, and your spelling choice. Have a nice night, guys. See you tomorrow.